Bumming with Bob. Let's have a few brews. We'll have some fun with the bum wine crew. So kick your feet up and grab you a beer. 'Cause damn, man, I'm glad that you're here.
All right. This is Bumwine Bob. Welcome to an all-new edition of Bum with Bobcat. We are wrapping up Malt Liquor May this week, and joining me on the podcast is the Malt Liquor man himself. Some people call him Mr. Colt 45. He is Roadhouse is here with me again. Roadhouse, how you doing, man?
Hey, buddy, I'm doing all right, and really excited to be back on here again for the umpteenth time.
Losing track, yeah.
Yeah. But nothing's more exciting than getting ready for a podcast.
Yeah, podcast, drinking, you can't go wrong. That's pretty much it. As we're putting the final bow on Malt Liquor May this week as we wrap up Memorial Day weekend. The unofficial kickoff of summer is here. We've been kind of kicking this idea back and forth. We're trying to figure out how can we put the final exclamation point on Malt Liquor May. And you can't ever go wrong with a 40. Now, before we start recording, it's a little, I know Roadhouse is doing a little podcast pre-gaming with some banquet beers over there today.
Yep.
And I was cracking open a nice 16-ounce can of the Battle of the Booze Champion, the Old English 800. So I'm going to finish that guy up right now.
And I was really surprised to see that picture you sent me after what we're about to do.
Well, it's just to wet your whistle a little bit, you know. It's nothing. It's only a 16. You mean you had a 12-ounce banquet? This is a 16-ounce,
yeah,
Old English 800. So, all right, I got 4 more ounces on you. But what we are doing today, we're gonna do something a little bit special, and we always love a good 40 and a good Colt 45. So today we're gonna start things off with a little crack it open. They got a little glass there, the original Colt 45. So we're gonna Roadhouse and I both have a 40 here of the legendary Colt 45. We're gonna crack that bad boy open now. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's that. Ooh, all right.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh, yeah. Nice and chilled. Took your advice and made sure to put that 40 in the freezer for a little bit beforehand.
Yeah, it works every time when you do that.
Get it right to the optimal temperature of the 40 ounce.
Right. And it gives you just, a little bit more time to enjoy it before you have to really throw it down before it gets warm.
Yeah. Yeah, because luckily we're not at that time of year yet where the 40 is really heating up quick, but with summer around the corner, you have to plan ahead. And if you're out there outside partying, grilling, doing your thing, hanging out at the pool, this thing sits out in the sun for a little bit. They heat up pretty quick.
Yeah. And that's why you need to always have another one on standby.
No, always have a backup. Always be prepared. 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it takes. If you're Roadhouse, you're stocking up on cases of them. You do what you got to do.
So, you saying that, I stopped into another store, bottom shelf.
There we go.
There it is. Bottom shelf browsing and talking to the owner. And he did me a big solid and ordered me a case of it in, so I don't have to go to Louisville every time I need it.
See, now that's what we like to hear. That's what we like to see is working with the store owners, the people working there, getting this stuff special ordered, really becoming one with your retailer and working with them. And they say, hey, look, can you order this for me? Because I've had people in the past say, oh, I can order you stuff, but they don't come through with it. But when you can find somebody that will actually go out and get you a case of it, that's somebody you have to add to your Christmas card list this holiday season.
Yeah. So, I've done it several times, asking guys to do me favors like that before in the past. And they're like, yeah, give me your number and we'll call you. And I stop back in. They don't even remember me.
Yeah.
This guy actually gave me a call and said, hey, I just got done talking to my distributor. He just left. He said, listen, good news. We got cases coming.
Nice.
And I said, good. So I popped in there this week to check in, and he said that shipment will come in. Hasn't showed up yet, but he'll set it to the side.
Awesome. That's great. Did you get a chance to ask him about the double malt yet?
I asked him about double malt and hard Mountain Dew.
Okay.
And he hadn't heard of either one. And so I showed him hard Mountain Dew's Instagram, and he quickly got on his phone and started following them.
There you go. Which is surprising because, I mean, you think and it is available in Kentucky. So he should be able to get it there. So really hopefully he can score that.
That they made that post about it coming to Kentucky before the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
And I was really thinking, all right, they're going to come through by Derby, and man, they got to come through at least by summer.
Yeah, because sometimes a lot of these companies, they'll make that post and it will already be on its way, or it'll be like in the stores the next day, like when Four Loko would release
with the Warheads. Yeah,
the Warheads, and with the USA before that, they'd say, "Oh, look, this new flavor is coming," and next thing you know, 3 days later, it's out there on the shelves. So
I think when you first showed me the Warhead, I'm pretty sure I found it the next day.
Yeah, you found it pretty quick. It took me a couple weeks, I think, to finally come across it in my travels. But
yeah,
you were like, "Oh, look, I found it." I'm like, "Hey, how did you find that so quick?" You're like, "Oh no, I went to the store and it was there." So,
and it was in the store, and that you never would have thought to see Four Loko. Period.
Hey, they're expanding the game. So
yeah,
so good for them. Good for Four Loko out there.
Yeah, they're on point right now. Four Loko is really up on all their social medias. They're constantly posting. They're interacting with their customers, and making us, be a part of them.
Yeah,
they respond to your posts. Really exciting to be, a big fan of Four Loko.
Yeah, and they just announced the other day, I don't know if you saw that, you can sign up for a potential Four Loko sponsorship.
Yeah.
Which I signed up. As soon as I saw it, I signed up. I went to the website, I filled out the form, and essentially all I think you have to do is just pretty much post some just pictures of you enjoying Four Loko, tagging them in it in either Instagram or on TikTok. And I don't know how they do it, but they say they'll pick somebody or what they'll do. I don't know what it entails, but I figure once we wrap up the Malt Liquor May festivities here, then we'll go into the Four Loko realm and see what it takes to really push them to get on board with the Bumwine Bob team. They dip their feet in the water here and there, but they never dive right in. So we're trying to get that push, trying to get them out there. So Four Loko, if you're listening, you know where to hit me up. You know where to find me.
Yeah, I got. Malt Liquor May has been great this year. I didn't get the variety that I normally get, but I didn't do without. But this 40 right here is pretty good. I'm about.
Oh yeah. They say it works every time, and you can never go wrong with the Colt 45. And I don't know about you, but I'm kind of right about almost to the label, right about to the curve of the bottle here.
Yeah.
And I picked up this one today, which is nice and fresh. Has a, where the hell is the date on it? But it was, there it is. It was hidden. October 23rd, 23. So this is a really fresh one. This is like right into the stores, because I made a stop yesterday trying to find one, and they were the shelf was empty. The rack where it had Colt 45 the sticker there,
Gone.
totally empty. So, I mean, hopefully, maybe more people are going down that
Yeah.
45 route. I mean, it's the classic.
We've been spreading a good word.
I know. I would love to see Colt 45 to get a little more push, a little more marketing out there with it. They've really been slacking the past few years after they even did like this rebranding of, going from the malt liquor to the classic American lager to shift when they switched the label, not saying it's malt liquor to kind of get away from, I don't want to say stigma, but the malt liquor has a stigma to it that people think, oh, it's for cheap, streets, poor people. And looks like they're trying to distance from that with rebranding the packaging, saying, oh, it's the original every time classic American lager since 1963. So Colt 45, embrace the history, embrace the malt liquor. That's what we all have to say. Embrace the streets, because what we're doing here today is from the streets.
We're taking it back.
We're taking it back. We're going old school here today. And Roadhouse and I were talking and discussing how can we really put a final bow and an exclamation point on Malt Liquor May. And that's by doing something that's been in the works for years, about 8 years now, since I said I would do this and haven't done it. If you go back in the Bumming with Bobcat archives and you find technically it'll be the third episode in the podcast feed, the second actual episode after the quote unquote pilot episode. It was the BWB Liquor Store Adventures podcast from February 15th, 2015. And on that podcast, the legendary Cactus Matt joined the show. And if you don't know Cactus Matt, he had a Howard Stern related podcast in like 2014, where I first ventured into the podcast world when he invited me on. We had gone back and forth on Twitter and Instagram, and he invited me on to do a Bum Wine of the Week segment, which escalated to on the website doing a Bum Wine of the Week. And once his podcast kind of wrapped up, I started this one. And on the second episode, he joined in, and we were talking about different bum wines, drinks, concoctions, and he informed me of something that was called the Snoopy Special. And he asked me if I ever heard of the Snoopy Special, and I said no, I never heard of that. I know Snoopy. Snoopy is great. And I should have brought my Snoopy cup with me here to enjoy it with, but that's upstairs. I can always do that later. But he said that the Snoopy Special was a common term on the streets. So, it's better. I'll let Cactus Matt explain it, and I'll play you guys this clip from that podcast to tell you exactly what the Snoopy Special is.
When I used to spend a lot of time on the streets and drink a lot of that stuff, we used to call it a Snoopy Special. Have you ever heard that term? Where you mix?
No.
It was a common term amongst people on the streets. You could say you're going to make up some Snoopy Specials, and people knew what you were talking about. But basically, it was just you pick your favorite flavor of Cisco, and then kind of make a brass monkey or whatever with a 40 of malt liquor. And I tell you what, man, I don't like drinking Cisco straight, but you pour it into an Old English or whatever, and man, it tastes like you're drinking a soda, and it'll get you there real quick.
Nice.
So.
Oh no, I will have to give that one a try. That's what I've tried in the past. Yeah, drinking Cisco straight up, is tough to do, and I've tried, mixing it with like different sodas, stuff like that. But unless you get the right combination, it's tough to find something that actually tastes good.
I'll tell you, my favorite Snoopy Special mix is an Old English and then I drink the Old English down to about the top of the label, and then just fill the rest with strawberry Cisco. That's my go-to if I'm going to drink that.
Nice. All right, yeah, I will add that to my list as something to give a try. You know, and we'll get it featured on the website, and maybe we're on to something good here.
So that's Cactus Matt telling everybody about the Snoopy Special. So it's essentially taking a 40 of your favorite malt liquor, drinking it down to about the curve of the bottom of the label. It's to your own discretion, is what we're saying. How messed up do you want to get? It is really what it comes down to. And then mixing a flavor of Cisco with it. And Roadhouse was lucky enough to come across in his travels these big bottles, these 750 milliliter bottles of the Cisco Berry. Now, we're not doing what was Cactus Matt's favorite one, which I debated on if I was going to do the Colt 45 or the Old English. And he said, and Cactus Matt was saying that the Old English and the Strawberry Cisco was his favorite, but I want to hold off on the Old English until I can get the glass bottles back. I don't think it'll be the same doing the 42-ounce plastic bottles, because at this time when he talked about it, the glass had just switched to plastic. So he was still talking about that classic glass malt liquor. So I figure once the glass finally makes its way back over here, I'll do a Old English 40 and a Strawberry Cisco, which I do still have. But today, Roadhouse and myself are going to mix up a Snoopy Special with the original Colt 45 and a Berry Cisco. So Roadhouse, you ready to mix this up and see what kind of trouble we can get in?
I'm all set. I mean, back when I was listening to that episode back in 2015, I wanted to try this so bad, but there was no Cisco to be found. The day I found these 4 bottles of the Berry, that is the first thing that popped in my head. And I'm getting ready to pour in now.
You're like, if you finally knew you found it, you could finally achieve that dream. So we got our Colt 45 here. I'm going to crack open this Cisco Berry.
You know, we've done quite a few different, bum wine concoctions. About messed up.
There's that berry smell. The legendary Cisco Berry. We're gonna mix this up here.
I have my lovely wife filming while
Get it, yeah.
So we can get this color in.
Because this is a tricky one to pour. And I asked Roadhouse before. I said, "Do you have a funnel you're doing there?" And he said no. And I said, "Well, I don't have that steady of a hand to do it. So I brought a little funnel here to help me pour this in here. So I'm gonna start pouring mine. Ooh, a little glug glug glug.
Yeah, I took it right back up to where it started when we cracked the 40s open. Oh, that smell is good.
There we go. Oh, there we go. It tricked me. I was pouring it in the funnel. I'm like, why is it not pouring in? And then all of a sudden, it all came in there at once. But there we go. Yeah. Yep. Ooh, look at that color. That's a nice red.
Yeah. It's on the color when you pour out like a Killian's red into a glass.
Yeah. That's
it mixed right up. There's no having to move the bottle or nothing.
Yeah, that went right in to it there.
They're made to go together.
So let's look at that right there. I think I did the last pour a little too much, so it got a little foamy at the top. But I
got a little head on mine too.
Yeah,
not bad.
Let me see.
Well, I'm set to go.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
The Snoopy Special, the Colt 45, and the Cisco Berry. Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow.
All right.
That's like the perfect killer of the Cisco bite.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. And there it is, right there. If anybody's had Cisco before, drink it straight up. 1 or 2 drinks in, you feel that course through your veins.
Yeah, that's true.
And that warm flush feeling that comes over your face, yeah, it comes through.
Yeah, that's really good. It kills the Cisco enough, but you get that little hint of it. And he said it was like drinking a soda, and
Yeah.
I can definitely get that vibe from it. And what I neglected to say before, it's essentially you're doing a brass monkey instead of doing pouring your orange juice in it. You're just pouring a Cisco in there with it instead.
It's been years since I did a brass monkey. Personally, I didn't really, it's not something I look forward to do again. It was neat, but I like just a straight up malt liquor.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I've done it maybe once or twice.
Yeah,
but never went out of my way to do it.
I guess that's what
if I was gonna drink some orange juice, and the best was when I mixed it up with some orange juice and some Thunderbird, or a little Thunder juice at a bachelor party the one time. That was the way to do it.
Ooh, it took a lot more of the Cisco than I thought.
It did. I was filling it and I was pouring it through the funnel, and I'm pouring it in, and I'm like, this thing isn't really filling up much.
I know it.
And I'm pouring more of the bottle. So I mean, because did you have a full bottle, or was your bottle? Your bottle was open already, right?
It was open already. I had pulled some out of it, but there's probably only 2 inches left in the bottom of the bottle now.
Okay, yeah, because the bottle I opened was brand new, sealed, and for when I poured in, I'm just about above the bottom, the top of the label right now.
Yeah.
So because I was poured it in, and at one point the funnel did stop. I guess I didn't have it open enough.
Oh,
and then I was like, crap, am I going to overflow this thing? But luckily it didn't. It filled perfectly right to about the original level of the Colt 45. But yeah, I'm thinking, oh, this will take just a little bit of Cisco to pour it in, because we weren't sure, because Matt said drink it down to the label and then fill the rest of it with Cisco. So it was like, well, are you going all the way to like the very top or where it was? And when you're on the streets, you can play around with it a little more, but with Cisco's no joke. We all know that. If you're listening to this podcast, you know about Cisco and the 17% alcohol. And surprisingly, these bottles do not say anything about it not being a wine cooler, but I guess it's because it's the big bottle. Maybe
the big bottle, yeah.
Yeah, they don't put it on here, but still, somebody might still look at this and just say, "Oh, it's one big wine cooler."
Yeah.
Still don't know the dates on these bottles. I would love to know when these were from.
Yeah,
because it's like they're new enough that they can put websites on them. The old cwine.com, which does not exist anymore. You can't find that website, doesn't exist. At least I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna try it really quick. I'm pretty sure I tried it. I don't think it goes anywhere.
Well, maybe we can buy the domain.
It redirects to cbrands.com, which is the brands people love. Oh, Corona. Yeah, let's see. Brands featured.
Yeah.
Let's see. Search Cisco. There are currently no results for your selected filters. Oh, I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that was happening. But yeah, I don't know. These are like high class wines, but I never got the official response that there we go, that Cisco was discontinued, but for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much a known thing that it's no longer being produced.
Right. So I took a before picture, right before, and I'm getting ready to post it on Instagram, and I was going to use the hashtag Snoopy Special, and it exists. So after I get done, I'll go back and look at what we got.
See what exactly?
Yeah.
Let's see, man. How much? It could just be Snoopy. I don't know. People like
right.
Snoopy.
All right, so I'm going to share it out there. That way you'll be able to see where I started and how much I had in the bottle before it's.
I was just looking now. Yeah, it's essentially all peanuts and Snoopy. And yep, and then there's yours. There's a Snoopy, peanuts, and a Colt 45 and a Cisco. People are like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Yeah. Fewer than 100. Yeah, we did good on this one. We're representing hard.
Yeah, this is very, very good. It kills that Cisco taste just enough that you're not hating yourself drinking it. So you're still getting that 17% Cisco. You have your 5.6% Colt 45.
We are really overlooking just how sneaky this drink is. People who've never had Cisco before, and I'd like to hear Crude's version of this. He knows what we're talking about on this one, but I'll tell you what, I feel it already.
Yeah, I do too. It's a nice it's coming on a little bit, not too much yet, but I don't know how much you drank now of it.
I'm back down to the label.
Yeah, that's about me too. Because like I said, after refilling it with that, it was sneaky how much it took to do it. Now drinking it back down again, yeah, but it's good.
So normally when I drink a 40, I'm a guzzler. So I can do a 40 in less than 10 drinks or 10 pulls, sometimes less than 5, depends on, the atmosphere, what's happening around and what kind of party mood I'm in.
Yeah, you got to pace yourself though with this one. You can't be.
And I was genuinely nervous going into this, being what night of the week we're recording it, what I got to do the next day, and all right, is this a smart choice to do? Who cares?
I was with you too. I'm like, I don't know where this is gonna go to. I mean, it's it could go either way.
Right.
But also, on the reverse of it, it could, since you're mixing it with the Colt 45 and the Cisco, diluting it a bit, and you're not drinking as much Cisco as you would think. And
wrong.
that right there, that is a common misconception right there of it.
Right. No, don't. You can fool yourself all you want. The results will be in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, you're right. I know.
See how our conversation.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes after that. It's like, okay, all right. It's but we had to finally do.
Oh yeah,
the Snoopy Special.
So glad, and hat tip to Cactus Matt for bringing this into our lives.
Yeah,
and do it for a long time.
Exactly, and you heard it before, and I said, I'll add this to my list of things to try, and I did. It might have took 8 years, but finally got the chance to crack it open and give it a shot, and I did reach out to Cactus Matt through his brother, who we follow each other on Instagram, because I wanted to see if he wanted to come on the podcast and just chat with us and talk about it. Because he's kind of gone MIA off of social media for years now. I know every once in a while he would pop in and send me a message and just say, hey, how you doing? This and that. So I reached out to his brother and told him that we were going to be mixing up his famous Snoopy Special concoction and wanted to know if he would be interested in joining in. So he said, okay, he would track him down and let him know. But he said he talked to Matt, said he's a few years sober now, which I think he said something, because I know he had a lot of issues with his drinking and drugs and everything. So he was a few years sober now, but he declined, but said hello and wished us well. So cheers to you, Cactus Matt, out there. If you happen to hear this podcast and stumble across it, or somebody tells you about it, cheers to you, buddy. Glad to hear you're doing well out there. And Roadhouse and I are happy to carry on the Snoopy Special tradition.
Cheers to Cactus Matt. Here we go.
Ooh, yeah.
That's it. Hey, listen, that is great. Going in right now, feeling the good buzz come on, feeling the party life wanting to kick in. Like, what can we get into?
Right, like this is something you start off your night with this. Now, I mean, essentially we only had one drink
right
a piece beforehand and then cracked it open. But this would be one of those, you're starting off the night, hanging out, you crack open the 40, drink it down, pour in the Cisco, and then things are going to get crazy after that.
You go out stepping. You're going to save money at the bar because you're not going to be trying to catch up and get the buzz on. You've got it rocking. You walk into the bar, you're going straight to the dance floor. You're going straight out there, start doing the robot.
Yeah.
doing the thing, doing the bum wine bob.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of what this tastes the most similar to. I can't quite pick it up.
With the berry, any one of the golly, it's so sweet. I can't put my finger on it except for let me get another drink. Hold on. It's on your lips. It's on your mouth.
Yeah,
it's good.
But it still keeps that Cisco flavor and aftertaste to it. So you're not losing. No, not that anybody really wants that Cisco flavor and aftertaste a lot of times, but it doesn't hide it. You still know you're drinking something that has Cisco in it. Like after you take that sip, you kind of smack your lips together. You're like, yeah, I just drank some Cisco.
Yeah. Well, the Cisco's, the reds, the strawberries, the berry, they're probably the most friendly. When you get into the peach, the grape, and those, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean,
what your friend, what flavor was that? Yeah, your friend just went to the sink and poured it out.
Oh, that was the green apple. And he's like, you can't fucking drink this. He just dumped it out the side of the deck, and he's like, that was perfectly good Cisco green apple. He's like, I'm saving you the trouble. I'm like, nah, you know what? You're probably right. It was, it was warm. It was warm Cisco green apple. It's like
he is a true friend.
You did a favor by dumping that out.
I mean, we would drink it out of sympathy or what's the word I'm trying to find. We're not going to be the guy that pour it down just because it's alcohol. We'll power through it and get it done. But he actually probably did you a super big favor to do something that we couldn't.
I can't. It hurts me so much to pour out any type of alcohol to.
Even if it's shitty, you at least power through it. Yeah,
and even when I think maybe it was when we did the last podcast, and I was telling you when I was going through all the random bottles of MD 2020 that I had sitting around here. Yeah, and I'm like, these things have been open and just sitting out for some of them for a couple years that have a little bit left. But I'm like, well, I don't want to get rid of them. I mean, what if it's like, how good is this stuff still? And it's like, well, it's MD 2020. I mean, how good is it to begin with? If it's been sitting out in an open bottle in a garage for 2 years, I think it can't be that much worse than day one.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. That's a good one.
But, we're doing the Snoopy Special, which is affecting my speech already.
Well, remember that Cisco is not a wine cooler.
As
much as you thought it might be.
It's liquid
it's so pretty. And you see that bottle and you think, oh, it's a grape wine and citrus spirits with natural and artificial flavors and artificial colors.
Oh, yeah.
And then you see that, you turn the bottle to the side, 17% alcohol by volume. Like, oh, shit.
But, 17% don't sound like much. But when you're in this realm of drinking, what was the percentage on that Noah's Mill? 54?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're doing little 2-ounce pours on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was 113.4 proof or something like that. It's a different buzz. Way different buzz. Almost like a sophisticated buzz. This is on another level. I get hammered quicker on Cisco than I would something on the 113 proof. It's a different buzz. It takes you to a different place, and it's not nothing to fool around with.
It's everything else that they put in with it. I think that gets you. It's the sugar, the quote unquote wine, whatever it is, the bottom barrel leftovers of the grapes that they poured into this thing. Because with like the Noah's Mills, that's aged bourbon.
Quality. Yeah,
it's all there. It's all clean and fresh and all that nice stuff that goes into making a bourbon whiskey.
So what I'm trying to say is that it never made sense to me how I could have 3 or 4 drinks of the bourbon, be just okay. My speech don't change. I'm not slurring. I'm not sideways. But when we get on this bum wine, be it Cisco or Wild Eyes or Mad Dog and some Malt Liquor, something about that buzz is different. And it puts you in another place that is euphoric. And that's what gets you hooked. That's what's made me a lifetimer. If I don't know if I'm even expressing it correctly.
I get it, and I'm going through and trying to find the best way to explain it, and say whatever goes through the Cisco, and that's why it has such a backlash in the early 90s. Because I was looking up one of the favorite articles from. I mean, this is an article from March 12th, 1991.
There you go.
That it's talking about here the Cisco, and I guess this was at one point I think it was at 20% alcohol, dubbed as liquid crack, contains the equivalent of 5 shots of 80 proof vodka. Health experts said if a 100-pound person drank 2 bottles of Cisco in 1 hour, they could die of acute alcohol poisoning.
That's what year I graduated.
Yeah, and it says in January, U.S. Surgeon General told a news conference that Cisco's packaging looks like a wine cooler. It smells like a wine cooler, but it isn't. It's not a wine cooler.
Oh yeah.
It's the FTC says the packaging, marketing, and advertising of Cisco represent that it is a low alcohol product that consumers can drink in quantities similar to other low alcohol products without increased risk of injury. So essentially saying how it was bottled, that it looked too similar to like a Bartles and James, a 4% wine cooler, and you're pounded down a 17, or they said here a 20% Cisco.
Yeah. And that, it's been forever since I've seen the little bottles.
Here they said last month they unveiled a new bottle shape and a label design aimed at differentiating the beverage from wine coolers. The new bottle is made of dark green glass with a long, slender neck and bears the message printed on bold graphics that warn, "This is not a wine cooler." This container serves 4 persons and is best served over ice.
Yeah. And,
Yeah, the new package, the new packaging should be available after July 1st, 1991.
And you got that.
And don't say we're not a history podcast, people. Look, we're going in the archives here.
Right. Spreading the good word.
Yeah.
Vintage.
Yeah.
Educating you on,
Yeah, look, even here. January 10th, from the New York Times, Surgeon General calls potent wine a threat.
Yeah, threat. Here's to the threat.
Here's to the threat, yeah.
Snoopy Special going down.
Yeah. The drink has resulted in hallucinations, disorientation, loss of motor control, and loss of consciousness. Okay.
So if I turn my bottle sideways, I'm to the barcode.
Let me see. I think I might be probably right there too. I'm like mid barcode.
Oh wow! I need
right now. Yeah, just about. Yeah, about. Maybe if I hold it straight, I might be just below the barcode.
All right, we're on track together. All right.
Yeah, let's see that. See, this was the epidemic of the early '90s of Cisco Wine, which is I'm surprising with all the backlash it had that it didn't get just scrapped then. That it lasted so much longer.
Yeah, well, that same time period, Cisco was hard. Power Master by Colt 45 was big. Crazy Horse was big. All that time period right then, you had these massive amounts of like one bottle killers. They were just like, you were getting messed up on one bottle purchases.
Two teenagers recently convicted of throwing rocks at Capitol Beltway motorists told police they were drinking Cisco on the night of the incident.
Bad decision.
Cisco is the drink of choice for young people today, said Maryland State Detective Sergeant Vernon, who investigated the incident. Is spreading through the community. I think teenagers want it for the kick. They don't realize that it is as fortified as it is.
Right. And now those kids, now you fast forward or rewind, I should say, because I was already 18 or 19 in 91. So go back for, that's me on MD 2020. Doing dumb shit, getting it cheap.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's a valid point you bring up here, because the next line in this article here from the Washington Post says that the officials of the wine company in New York that has sold Cisco since 1988 expressed concern that their company is being unjustly singled out for criticism, saying that the real issue here isn't Cisco, it's underage drinking.
You're right.
So saying it does not necessarily saying it's Cisco doing this. It could be you drinking an MD 2020 or drinking a 40 of Colt 45. It's just that it happens to be these people getting caught and arrested happen to be drinking Cisco. And
well, to this day, it was, and to back then, it was the best bang for the buck.
Exactly.
How hammered can you get with the money I had in my pocket? All right. So you can get a bottle of Cisco, you get a 40. Back then when I in 90 and 91, you get a 40 for 99 cents. You get a bottle of Mad Dog for $1.25. Why not? You didn't want to get a 6-pack of Budweiser that cost you $3 or $4 and drink all 6 of them and not be nowhere, but you could get for $1.25, get a bottle of Mad Dog and can't stand up. So it's the bang for the buck.
And that's what we've always said is getting the best bang for the buck when it comes to some of this stuff.
Yes.
And Yeah, I'm still going through reading these articles here and saying, they had to remove the company in-store advertising, which stated that Cisco takes you by surprise, which is true, and saying that the people who were either going to the hospital or getting arrested said they thought they were drinking a wine cooler, they guzzled it. But I guess I can get it if you're young and you've never drank anything. Yeah. I could see that you don't know the difference, but one sip of Cisco, right away, this is not a wine cooler. I mean, it's a totally different, stronger taste than a Bartles and James that you would have been drinking at the time when this was going on. It's a totally different taste, so much stronger. You know right away that this is some heavy shit that you're drinking here.
So I'm going back. I'm already getting messages. I posted on Instagram, but I also I didn't realize post to my Facebook page. Someone made a comment. You do know you're not 18 anymore, right? You're gonna feel that tomorrow. Best comment. That's great. Let's see. Let's rotate back over and see what kind of action we have.
Yeah, I mean, it's just true. You probably will. You will feel it, and you'll probably say, "But hey, in the end, it was all for the fun of it."
It's worth it. Every bit, every moment. That's classic. Oh man. I mean, ooh, man, I am buzzed like a motherfucker.
I'm almost there. Almost. Ooh.
I'm down right below the label. I got about 3 or 4 more drinks.
See, you picked up the pace on me after I said where I was before. Because I'm almost at the bottom of the label.
Snoopy Special, Cactus Matt.
The original Snoopy Special.
Do you know what city he grew up in, or what city he represents?
I'd have to go back and look and see. I don't know where. For some reason I want to say Tennessee.
Oh, really?
But I could be totally wrong with that. I guarantee you it's probably nowhere near that.
Yeah, because man, when you get drinks like this, it's inner city.
Yeah, that's why I want to say it's probably not that, but I don't know why that was the first state that popped into my head. There we go.
Oh,
that will clear it out. That will.
I live in Kentucky now, but back when I fell in love with this bullshit, I lived in Akron, Ohio. This is where I grew up. This is where I went to high school, and I moved to Kentucky in '93 to get away from like felony charges. I had so many public intoxes and assault charges that judge said in 1 month, like 3 or 4 just public intox and assault, and just buck wild shit in the 91 and 2. He said, if you are ever in front of me again, whatever charge, I'm turning it to a felony. I'm like, well, fuck. I'll just get the fuck out of town.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Yeah. So
all right, see ya. Not coming back.
I moved to Kentucky in '93, and I've been here ever since. But yeah, I grew up in the inner city and brought it with me, except for the sluggish shit I used to do. Drinking, fighting, and fucking. That's all we used to do. But now we just stick to drinking. All the other 2 just drop off.
Yeah. That's the American way right there.
Classic American
way. The classic American lager since 1963, the Colt 45, as we've said there, but
classic American lager that's not a wine cooler anymore.
Yeah, now it's a hybrid mixture of.
How do you hybrid mixture? Yes.
Yeah, you pour this in your car and see how far you can drive on it. I don't know.
Oh
See,
my Lord.
see, but the legendary Snoopy Special from
Did not disappoint.
the Bumming with Bobcat archives. The second official episode of the podcast ever, even though Roadhouse has gone back and listened to the archives. I mean, I was trying to go through and listen to just this one episode to pick out the point where Cactus Matt clipped up, told us about the Snoopy Special. I mean, if you're adventurous and want to go back and listen to the archives, go ahead, but I think pick up anything within the last couple years, and that's the where you want to stick with.
Yeah, I got to say, the early episodes, if you're a big time fan of Bumming with Bobcat and you go back to the grassroots, to the first 2 or 3, 4 or 5, and he had open phone lines. He had some of the most entertaining callers. Your very first call, what did the guy say? You got big balls.
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong?
You're right. You're right. You never know what would happen.
And I was just like, so after the first time I was on a podcast, we were coming up on episode 200.
Yeah, two. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 200. And I was like, maybe we ought to do it live. And then you did the old school way with the phone lines. The early days, classic. He had some classic callers.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. You know, 300 is coming up soon. So we'll see what we can cook up for that one.
We are this one is which one?
282, I think. So we're getting close. We'll be there. We'll be there soon. We'll get there soon, and we said for 300 we'll do something special for it.
You know, in the world of podcasting, and I listen to a lot of podcasts, this one included, but for someone to make 50 podcasts is a milestone. All right, so we're talking 282 and still going strong. Looking forward to them, you know, every week, every other week, however we do it, because we're not consistent because we're drunks.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. It's been, when this one comes out, it's been like a month break between everything.
Right.
So it's not, it's intermittent. It's when it comes up, it comes up. You try to do every week, every couple weeks, but, you know, shit happens. You do it when you can, and the people have come to expect that.
Yeah. And I got to say, thank you, Bob, for always inviting me or reaching out to me to be a part of this. I feel very privileged to say cheers every time we do a podcast together. God dang, this thing. I'm about to finish this.
Yeah, I'm at the end, too, to wrap this up. The Snoopy Special right there.
That's it. It's a wrap.
There you go. There you have it there. There is the Snoopy Special, the Colt 45, the Cisco Berry. Now, if you're listening at home, you want to mix it up with your own favorite varieties, feel free. If you can find some Cisco, I know it's tough these days to come across it, but if you're like me and you have some stocked away for a rainy day, or if you find a unicorn on the shelf, like Roadhouse did when he found 4 bottles of the berry, get out there, pick it up, and mix up your own Snoopy Special, because it doesn't have to be a Colt 45. Ooh, there we go.
Ooh.
And a berry. You could do Cactus Matt's favorite, the Old English and the Strawberry Cisco. You name it. You pick your favorite variety. You pick your favorite malt liquor and mix it up.
Don't be afraid. If you find this shit and say there's 4, 5, 6, 8 bottles, use your rent money, use your mortgage money, use your car payment money, buy them all. Don't just buy one and leave the rest there, because you may come back and it's gone. Take the risk of being homeless and get this shit.
I was just say, and if you have to just scrape up whatever changes in the center console of your car,
Right.
to pick it up, that's fine too. Do what you got to do.
Rip the back seat out of your fucking car. And
Get it.
Get the change and buy them all. Holy shit.
Well,
this was no joke. This was
hey, Cisco is no joke. We covered this. It is not a wine cooler. It should be taken responsibly.
First podcast with a warning label.
Yeah.
It should be.
But it is a Snoopy Special. We're happy we finally got to crack it open, mix it up, try it out. We're wrapping up Malt Liquor May 2023. I mean, even though we say Malt Liquor May, it's malt liquor every day here.
Every day.
But it's not. If it was last month when we were doing the Jaguar, the Axe Head, the different variety. I mean, if you see the picture that I post with the whole lineup of the malt liquors, the high gravity lagers, it's a year round celebration.
Yeah.
Of it. But we like to say, hey, Malt Liquor May, that sounds cool. You know, so why the hell not? And why not wrap things up here with the Colt 45, the Cisco Berry, the Snoopy Special, and Fun with Bobcat. So for Roadhouse, anything else you got to say? Or are you ready
No. Guys, if you come up with anything, share it with us. Any kind of bum concoction. If there's something you think is worthy, we'll try it.
Exactly. We're always open to new ideas, new concoctions.
I mean, we did the Mad Mosa.
Yeah, exactly. And even things not bum wine related, anything cheap, you know, let us know. We'll give it a shot. We'll try it out.
Something new you find, tag us on it.
See?
I mean, we love you fuckers.
On that note, we love you fuckers. He's Roadhouse. Give him a follow. I am Bumwine Bob. Check out the website at bumwinebob.com. Tell your friends to check out the podcast, Bum with Bobcat. Like, subscribe, share, all that shit. And until next time, cheers.
That's right. Cheers.
Fucking coffee table, bro.
I appreciate the call today. We have some
man. I'm happy. I'm happy to call you, bro. I like talking to you.
All right, thanks. I appreciate the call.
Hey, I appreciate you. And I appreciate you back. I'm saying I like that. You know, we could just call and we just fucking talk about shit. I ain't gotta worry about what you think about me because you calling because you don't worry about what you think about me. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I get looked at like that a lot, but by you just just watching and listening, and I like that, man. It's like I feel like you old school. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's good, man. That's it. Hey, anytime you want to call in, you go for it, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that because I've got all kinds of shit I want to talk about to you. You know what I'm saying?
I need a beer.